Welcome back. In this video, I'll tell you a bit about bash commands. So first I'll return to home where I am, and let me clear the screen. So the bash commands we will be talking about, these are the basic commands that we run on shell. Some of the key bash commands that we will be learning today is ls, make directory, remove directory, change directory, echo, cat, copy, move, remove, and the manual. So first command I would always recommend that everybody should learn is man command. Like, there's nothing to learn, it's basically the manual of the command. So if you don't know about any command, or if you want to know anything about the command within Linux, just type man and the command. So man ls, which is to list files. And now it gives you a list of information that you can do with tons of switches, which is -a, -b, -c, -d, and so on. So we will be covering few of them, and rest you can learn by reading those switch commands over there. So let's talk about it. So I'll tell you how some of these commands work, or some of these switches work. So I'll quit from here. I'll go back to root and I'll do ls. So this is my directory. So with ls, you get a basic listing of directory with no details. If you want a long listing, if you want with all the details, then you can use the command ls-l. It gives you a listing with the page format or more details that you want. If you don't understand these numbers, these numbers may be long. So now you can read it. It's 4096 bytes or 4 kilobytes. But if you want the file sizes are big and the numbers are complicated, you don't need to convert them. We have a switch which is human readable format. So with up arrow, you can go back to the previous command. Just type h in the end and then you read it. Now you get it more sensible information. That instead of 16,000 some 384 bytes, it's roughly 16K. It's 4K. 4096 is plain 4K, and so on. So h is human readable format that you can look into it. Then if you add a t at the end, it will sort based on time. You can see it over here. Based on the time and date, it will sort the files for you by modification time. If you want the sort in reverse order, you also add r to it. Now you will see everything is reversed. So February 26, 2024 is the first file. So if you want the order to be reversed, use the R switch in the end. And if you want to see the subdirectories, so for example, we have a var folder, directory. Do not use the word folder, guys, it's a Windows term. We should use directories. So var directory, if I say same command, but I say for var, but instead of this, I also add a switch which is uppercase R. It will give the information of the subdirectories also for it. See the recursive directories. Any subdirectories that are stored in the var directory will be demonstrated. You can see it. See, it has got var temp cloud in it. Var log, var log, var log, var log Azure, var log journal, var log disk. So if you want to have more information about the directories, recursively add -r switch. You can add or delete the switches to your wish. That doesn't mean that you need all of them. If you don't like most of them, you can just delete them over here and only use the one you want. Then you have S, which will sort the directory with size. See, here it is. Oh, sorry, we'll not just use var, but we will just use in root where we are. But now you will see that it is sorting by the size. 16K is on that top. And if you want to list one per line, or if you want to just list the directory or not their contents, we can use the switch -d. So for example, same with var. If I say ls-l and I use d and I say var, it will only list the directory, not recursively. So it will just list one of them, the directories. So this is a basic ls command. Then you also have ls -l and a. It will list also the hidden file. So anything that starts with dot is a hidden file. For example, if I go to cd cd tilde, which is my home folder, and I do ls, I don't have much files. If I do ls-l, I only have 3 files. Sorry, control C, ls-l, I only have 3 files. But if I do ls-la, now you'll see so many files have come. So A basically is including all the hidden files that are in the directory will also be displayed to you. So this is what is about ls command. Then we have pwd. So I'll clear the screen. Man pwd. So this is your print working directory or current working directory, and this will give you information about the logical and the physical location of the directory. Anytime you want to come out of man, just press Q and you are out. So currently I'm in home Azure. If I say cd root and I say what is my now print working directory or present working directory or current working directory, it is root. The next command that we have is echo. So echo commands basically prints the message onto the screen, comes with few switches. So if I say man echo, echo will basically display a line of text with certain switches. So we'll talk about these common switches on the top. Press Q to quit. So I will say echo, welcome to Linux fundamentals of bash, and I press enter. It printed as it is. If I say that I want to print welcome to, and I say close, and then I put semicolon, and then I put echo again, and I say Linux fundamentals, now it will be printed in 2 lines because these are 2 separate commands, but I want them to be printed in 1 line. I don't want this line to break. So I'll go here and I will say do not break the line, and I press enter. Now it is printed in the same line and the space is not there. And over there. So if I go here, and if I put a space here and now I press enter, now you will have a space. So this is what it is this. And if you want to omit any special character, so let's go back here to this command and I say echo and I say /n and I say -e. So it means /n basically means a new line. So it will still break the line into parts. But if I say don't read the special commands, which is /n, it will just ignore that. It will print it as it is. So basically it will just disable any backlash escape that we have onto the system. So this is just a brief about this. Then we have touch command. So if I say cd tilde, I go back, I clear the screen and I say sudo touch file1, file2, file3, file4. So I have created 4 files. And if I do ls-l, these files are empty files. If I want to write any data onto this file, I can say echo welcome to Linux fundamentals, like we did earlier. It printed, but this time we say don't print it here. Instead, put this in a file. So I'll just say greater than sign and I will say file 2. It says permission denied because it does not have the right permission. So we'll just give the permissions. So we'll just say sudo, which is super user. chmod is change mode, that means permissions of the file, which is file 2, and we say the permission is 666, which is read write for all of them. Done. And if I do ls-l again over here, you see that the permission has got right permissions. And now if I try to write the files, it will write on it. And from 0 bytes now, this will have some data onto it, which has got 30 bytes. And if I say cat file 2, if I want to add a line behind it, like welcome to Linux fundamentals, and today is 20th of August. So I will just say here echo, and I will say with the line, I'll write here today is August 202025, and I will say double greater than sign. This appends and write the data at the end of the file. Enter. Done. And now if I do ls-l, you see that the size is increased to 55. If I go and say cat, it has added a line at the end. So this is basically to add the command to the end of the line. Now, if I want to copy this file, file 2, to another name file, command is cp. So cp is basically the command. You can just say man cp and it basically copy the files and directories. And there are certain switches that are available to it. So you can copy them recursively. You can copy them with the information before replacing. You only copy if there's a change in the source, or you can have a verbose mode available. So lots of switches are there. And I will show you a few of them, which is interactive, V for verbose, and which is here, and so on. Some of them for -u, which is equivalent or update, and etc. So let's go press Q, come out of it. Command is copy source to destination. So command is cp file 2 to smile2. It's copied. Let's do ls-l. Now you see a new file is created with similar byte size, and this is smile2. Because I did not use sudo, I'm not the owner or the writer of the data, the group. I worked without sudo. That is why Azure user is the owner of the data. But if I say sudo cp and I say smile2 to smile3, and now see, smile3 is owned by root because I used super user privileges. So this is also something you need to understand. But moving further, if I say copy the command and I use the command -i, now before it copy, it will ask me, do you want to overwrite? Because I use the interactive switch, and if I say no, it won't overwrite. But if I say yes, you don't see any message, but you will see a message if I add a V switch, which is verbose. I say yes, and it says copied. So V means verbose. It gives information what is done. Now another thing, if I go here and I run the same command again, but this time I use a U switch. Now U switch will only work if there's a change in the file. So currently both are 55 bits. We did not make any changes to it, sorry, bytes. And if I have used U switch, it will not copy it. That means if I have ls-l, the size is still the same. But if I say echo adding a line to existing file2, and I say greater than, and I say file2. Done. Now let's do ls-l. The size of this is 85 now. This is 55, and I say cat file2. New line is there. Let's run this command again with -u switch. Now see, it is saying, do you want to override? Earlier it was not, because -u will only work if there is any change in the source. If source and destination match with the compare, then it will not copy it. And I say yes, it is done. And if I have a look at the file system, you will see that these two are now 85 bytes. And if I say cat smile2, and the file is added. Clearing the screen. Next command is move. Move is basically moving the file to another location or directory. Move also means rename a file. So move basically is a command. It is similar to what cp is. You just need the source and the destination, but move command basically also creates the it works as a copy command. So it basically copies the source to destination with a new name and deletes the original file. That is what the command does. And you have got certain switches that are associated with it. So here it is. If I say mv, there are a lot of switches, as you see, but I'll show you a few of them. And -f is force, which is a new switch that you have seen here. Basically, it doesn't matter whatever you say, it will forcibly run the command. So command is man, and I say smile2 to smile4. It's not copying. It will rename smile2 to smile4, sorry, mv. And I will use -v as a switch, which is verbose. And now it says renamed. And let's do ls-l. And there is no file such as smile2. Now everything is smile. If I again say that move smile4 to smile2, but before you do, ask me. It will rename it, and it will also ask before replacing files. That means if the file already exists there and it is trying to do it, then it will ask me to do it. So for example, if I say smile3, it will say cannot, because smile2 to smile3, because smile3 already exists. Now it is asking, do you want to replace the file, overriding the mode? See, there is the file smile4 was changed to smile2. Then I said move smile2 or rename smile2 to smile3, but it is saying this file already exists. Do you want to do it? This is what I does. I say no, and it will not do it. And it will only, you can also use -u switch, which is there was with the cp command, which will only replace if the data is newer with -u, but you can also use -f. So f will not even ask you, it will just do it. If I say yes, done, rename smile2 to smile3. So -f is the force option which will do it. So I hope this makes it clear. And then we have something which is known as rm. Rm basically removes the file. So command is man rm. Rm is removing file or directory. It can remove the files or directory recursively also. So I'll press Q. I'll show you with some of the switches over here. And the command is rm file name. So if I say rm file3, it says it's a write protected empty file. Do you want to remove it? And I say yes. Done. But if I use verbose in the end, it will say remove file. So verbose basically also tells what it has done. Now if I again do ls-l, you will see that there is a new file, and there is a new file 1, and there is filr1 with something different. So I will just say rm filr1 and I'll say use the switch force. Now this time it did not even ask me that it is overprotected, write protected, because the switch was forced. Anything that was there is deleted. Now make directory. So man mkdir, which is equivalent to creating folders in Windows, and you can use certain switches over here. So I'll just show you how to create directory and show you with some switches that is over here. So I'll just say sudo mkdir abc and I do ls, abc is created, and if I do cd abc and I again say mkdir def created, sorry, sudo, we'll use sudo created, and if I do ls, def is there, and if I do cd def and I say sudo mkdir pqr and I do ls, pqr is created, and if I say cd pqr, I'm in pqr now. If you want, you can go back with tilt command and it will take you back to your home. If you say tree abc, it will show you the directory structure of your file. If you want to remove all the directories including abc, command is sudo, you can use it, rm remove, -r is for recursive, and abc delete it. And now if I do ls abc, no such directory exists. So -r will remove all the directories, subdirectories and the files into it. Then we have something, we can also create multiple directories. Let's do it. Let's say sudo mkdir over here, and I will say -p, which is for creating multiple directories and subdirectory, and V is for verbose, and I say abc def pqr lmn created. And now if I say tree abc, you see the directory structure is here. So -p creates parent child combination, and B was for verbose. That is what we did. Also, if I want to create a directory, for example, if I say sudo mkdir and I want to create with permissions. Now before I do that, let me show you ls-l abc. You see abc has got certain permissions, 755. I want to create permissions of 744, for example. I will say here sudo mkdir -m, V is for verbose, 744 xyz. Oh sorry, it is not allowing V. We can use separately switch. It's not allowing us to use it. Let's remove it and let's create it. And now if I do ls-l, now you will see I have a directory which is xyz and the permission is 744. 4 is for read, 4 is for read. So it creates a directory with the permissions that I want it to do. And once again, you can use the command rm -r -i is for interactive, V is for verbose, and we will say xyz. It's a write protected directory. Remove it. Yes. Done. And now I want to remove abc. So everything in abc will also be removed. Yes. 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 It says cannot delete, permission denied. No problem. We will use sudo and we will just say remove by force. I will not even ask interactive. I'll say force and delete it. So if somewhere permission is denied, you can always use the sudo command to override your current structure. So this is how some of the basic sudo commands that basic bash commands that you should know in Linux, very basic. And then we will move further in our next video with the next set of bash commands. Thanks for watching, and any questions, please feel free.